guys.
Hello.
Welcome back to our channel. We hope you liked the last episode about the last Starfighter.
Oh.
But this is one we've been really looking forward to. We are going to complete the original trilogy. So we would like you to join us for this one, and hopefully you'll like this as much as we enjoyed filming it. So guys, I am Boba Dave.
Oh, I am Obi Mark.
We are Dudes of the Galaxy.
Dudes of the Galaxy.
So guess what? We're going to invite you into our galaxy, so come with us and
let's have some fun. Woo!
Woo! So Mark.
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm so
Return
excited. I'm
of the
so
Jedi.
excited. Oh, not as excited as Empire because it's not as good.
No, but Return of the Jedi, the reason I'm excited about this one because we're completing the original trilogy.
And it is great still.
And it does finish it beautifully.
Yeah.
know?
I mean, we're going to go through Return of the Jedi. We don't have to go too much through the story. I think everybody knows the story of Star Wars.
I do.
But if you don't, then where the hell have you been? I guess is the question.
Not in a galaxy far, far away. That's for sure.
No. And you know, we're going to talk about some of the pitfalls of the film, some of the characters, some of the big moments. I'm very excited.
Right, so let's open it up with the way it starts. So you go.
So always. It starts
space.
off with obviously you have the old thingamajiggy that comes out, the prologue. What do you call it?
The crawl.
Yeah, which goes down. It's talking about Solo that's been captured and blah blah blah, and Luke Skywalker becoming a Jedi Knight.
Yes,
right, which is great. Starts in space, always in space, but this one particularly great, right? And I tell you why, the sounds, right? Because you've got a Star Destroyer, right? From the Star Destroyer comes down one of those little namby-pamby butterfly-looking, I don't know what they are, shuttles, right?
Yeah, it's the Imperial shuttle.
And then 2 TIE fighters, right? And the shuttle has that vroom sound, and then you get that, wow, it's just
amazing.
And it going in, and you can see the Death Star's in construction. Right, which is fine, you know.
It looks a bit like one half it is scaffolding.
And Mikey, one of our subscribers, will probably send through another health and safety risk assessment for us on the Death Star.
So come on, we need that
because there's lots going on where I think people may hurt themselves or whatever. But then this is the Empire, isn't it?
But then, I mean, straight away you've got a problem there. Straight away, they've got people living in there, but it's only half constructed.
Oh, but it lands, right? It lands, and the commander of the Death Star is standing there, kind of swallowing. You can see his Adam's apple as it comes down, and the noise and the smoke as it comes down.
And who comes out?
This is my boy. It's my boy.
This guy right here comes out. Vader. And he tells Vader that they need more men. So Vader says, "You can tell this to the Emperor." When he gets here, he goes, "The Emperor's coming here," and he goes, "Yes, and he won't be as forgiving as I am."
Oh, if it was Vader,
but then he says, "We'll double our efforts," because this way, one thing your bosses don't do is go full script.
Well, no. Every time I'm late.
Every time. Or my fault, there's something wrong with my fault. See, something wrong with it. It doesn't work.
So anyway, off they go. They've got a lot of work to do before the Emperor's visit.
Yes.
Right? Who's not as forgiving as he is.
No.
You're quite right.
But then we go to Tatooine.
Ah, Tatooine, to Jabba the Hutt's palace, no less.
Yeah.
And the 2 droids, right?
Yeah.
Laurel and Hardy, there they are, strolling through the desert, talking about how rough their life is.
Yeah. And they get there, and that little eye, they knock on the door, and that little eye comes
Do you know
out.
what that is?
What is that?
That's a futuristic Ring doorbell.
Do you think?
I think that's exactly how we're going to go.
I heard your Ring doorbell go, and whatever it says when it comes out.
I mean, that's the normal thing. If someone's like trying to collect or whatever, it'll come back up, and it goes.
And they let him in, and then he's like, what are those pig creatures called? I mean,
Gamorrean guards.
Gamorrean
guards, yes.
They come out.
And I have a great story about them later in
and
the Rancor.
You've got a guy with what I can only describe.
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, Bib Fortuna. With that thing that goes around.
It's like a snake thing. Brilliant. And he says, "I'm sorry, I can't give you the message. You got to go and see Jabba face to face. You know that R2 unit. He's a stubborn little droid."
He really is. And on top of that, he then says that we brought as a gift.
What gift?
These 2 droids.
What?
R2D2, we played the message. You're playing the wrong message.
That's suppose it's like giving away a car or something like that.
I mean, to be fair, if I had a choice, I'd give away C-3PO.
Oh yeah, C-3PO would have been given away a lot. You know, I mean, what I guess is useful if you need translation.
Yeah, but R2-D2 is always a saviour, isn't it? I mean, that little pocket, that little Swiss Army knife of a droid can do literally anything.
Swiss Army knife droid.
It literally is. I said it in the last one. We talked about things. You've got all these different things that come out of him doing all these different things. I mean, we see even more what he can do in the prequels. But we'll talk about that when we get to the prequels. So anyway, Luke then comes in and.
Well, no. First you've got Bosk. Bosk comes in.
Yeah.
With Chewie. Chewie. With his you think at the time thermal detonator. He takes 35,000, which is a good up from 25. That's some good negotiating skills. I'm in sales. Yeah. Do you think I should take a thermal detonator with me on my next RFP?
50, no less. I could try. I'll take one in with you. If you don't go with it, I'm going to put
inventive and fearless. I am. You see. Anyway, great idea because Bosk turns out to be Lair. Yeah. Let's Solo out of carbonite.
And he says, "Who are you?" And she says, "Someone who loves you."
He's like, "Stop smothering me."
What are you stonking me? And then you hear it, don't you? You hear,
oh, that's the funny thing, right? Right. So it's dead quiet. She sneaks in. She does all the gets him out, right? And then all of a sudden, a curtain goes back with like 20 people behind it who've all been completely quiet. No, we're getting in a second. Wait for Jabba.
Jabba's going, I'm not going off.
You wait for my laugh.
And then you can't help it.
That's what happened. If you disagree, tell us. But I reckon that's exactly what's happened.
But then after that, so they get captured. They get put into the cells with Chewie and everything. And then Luke comes in. And the first thing he does, the Gungan does, they try to stop him. He goes, and they both fall backwards being choked.
Yeah.
Luke goes in, threatens Jabba, says, blah, 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 I'm a Jedi. Tries a Jedi mind trick, which doesn't work because Jabba says it's not your Jedi mind trick, doesn't work. And then he drops him into the Rancor pit.
The Rancor pit. The Rancor pit. Now, there's a funny bit on this I need to tell you about, right? You rewatch the film, right? Because when he drops down into the Rancor pit, a Gamorrean guard drops down with him, right? There's two of them, right? Anyway, right, you would imagine one of that Gamorrean guard's friends with the other Gamorrean guards are up in the palace, that kind of stuff, right? The Rancor comes along, picks him up, bites his head off. Yeah. The other Gamorrean guards are going, woohoo! Yeah! Eat our friend!
I reckon he was a supervisor.
he was not a popular one.
He was a supervisor.
Go on, eat Bill. But we don't like him.
But then Skull has to fight the Rancor. And
Gamorrean Bill, sorry.
Right, so Skull has to fight the Rancor, and he does his best. And first he puts a bone into his mouth.
Which is good, but not a final.
Snaps it. But then he gets the door open, and as the Rancor comes through, he picks up a rock, uses the force to make sure it's accurate, throws a rock, down comes the door, crushes the Rancor.
Well, I'm not happy about it because, Rancors are generally quite gentle creatures.
Yeah, and what about their poor trainers? They were crying.
Well, they were, because that's their livelihood. That's like you losing your plough horse.
You know how long it takes to breed one of them, to make it grow up, to train it?
If the amount of food...
The food they've given
The amount of Gamorrean guards he has to feed them.
Yeah, at least 1 week.
The others are like, yeah!
So therefore he's captured, and then Jabba takes him out to the desert.
Great stuff. To the Sarlacc pit. No less. Where they will experience...
a death, a painful death as they are digested over 1,000 years.
1,000 years?
Yeah, I'm really not going to last that long.
Well, you're not going to last long, actually, at all. So the original Star Wars just had, like, little snaky things coming out of it. The new improved one...
looked like a flower.
It's got like mouths that they eat it. I quite like it.
No, me,
the more sort of deadly the Sarlacc pit is, the better. Because before it just looked like a pit with a few things.
Which is what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
A pit with a few technicals coming out of it.
Great.
It looked a bit computerised.
But you see the sail barge for the first time.
Skywalker standing on walking the plank.
Walking a plank without his hands tied.
Yeah.
Duh.
Right, R2-D2's got a secret. He's carrying his lightsaber.
He has. Pop-up lightsaber.
He nods. He flicks his arm. Jumps. Flicks up from the fold. Lightsaber comes out. And off he goes.
Slashy.
And I just want to point out, this is the first time we see the green blade.
It is.
And I don't know, I noticed that for the first time. It's like his blade is green.
It's nice. It's
and
nice.
It looks good green.
It's a great lightsaber. He slashes. He gets shot in the hand on the top of the sailboat.
That's it.
He tries to. He lands and his blaster gets cut in half by a lightsaber.
I love the bit of Han Solo and he goes, Boba Fett, where? And he turns, he's got his big stick and he turns, it's his jetpack. Off he flies into the Sarlacc I'm going to be honest with you, considering he was such a cool character, that's a bit of a crap ending.
You wouldn't say that, Boba.
You know, well,
would you not? Do you know what we missed out as well? When he walked into the palace, the Boba Fett nod.
The Boba Fett nod.
To Bosk.
Yeah. Boom, like that.
Guy,
we love
I mean, you've had the nod yourself.
I've had the nod from the
guy.
The Boba Fett nod was from the guy who played him in the TV show, whose name I can't remember. But that's when he walked past me, and I gave him the nod, and he gave me the nod back, and it was such a cool moment.
Well, it's in that film.
I know.
I wonder when Leia strangles Jabba, but when she's there and she's like,
that's brutal.
And Jabba's
how often do you see a kids movie when a villain gets strangled to death slowly
by a woman in a gold bikini?
And they've got that Salacious Crumb, the little guy that sits and goes.
He's great. I like it.
He gets electrocuted by R2 and flies up into the rafters.
He does. He does. Off they go. Blast the gun into the deck.
Yeah.
Jump on the other skiff.
Yep. Don't forget the droids.
Boom!
That's the end of it.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. And then they get back to their ships, and that's when Luke says, "I've got a promise to keep to an old friend." And off he goes to see Yoda.
The master.
Yeah.
Who's dying?
Yeah. When we get there, and he's like,
very sad.
You look concerned. So old do I look to young eyes?
Well, he's getting out his credit cards ready to use them in a minute.
And he goes, no, and he goes, I'm 800 years older. You look so good. You will not.
You know,
or is it 900 years?
Oh, well, it's a long time, right? It's a long time. Yeah. But he tells... Now, this is the bit I don't get confused, right? Because he sends him off to go and... He says, you're not a Jedi until you face Vader, which he does. Yeah. And then he comes back... And then goes, so I am a Jedi. He goes, no, Vader. You gotta face Vader. He dies by saying, there is another Skywalker. We did that good.
Yeah, we did that good. And that's the thing, but he also confirms that he is his father. And that's the first time. When we went to see that for the first time in, I think it was 83 when it came out. Or 82, one of them. But when he saw it for the first time, that was the first time we had it confirmed as an audience that it is actually his father. Obi's ghost.
Obi's ghost, yeah. Off he goes. There's a chat to Obi, and then figures out that Leia's his sister.
Yeah.
Which is another big part of the film. And also, the other weird thing is at the end, Leia and Han think that Luke is also interested, and she's let play along. Let her play on.
Because Han said, we're getting there, but I'm going to do this. Yeah. So Han says, you love him, don't you? And she goes, of course I love him. And he goes, that's okay. When he comes back, I won't get in the way. And she goes, no, he's my brother. Yeah. And he goes, and he kisses her. Anyway, I've got ahead of myself a bit because now we've got to go to the final, the planet of Endor, but the Ewoks. I mean, it did feel, for me, and again, if you agree or if you don't agree, comment below because we'd like to hear your thoughts. It felt a little bit like a marketing opportunity when they brought them on board. Like they made these so they can make teddy bears. Teddy bears.
Don't
you think?
They're way too cute. Actually, there's a real weird...
We say they're way too cute, but they was actually prepping Han to eat.
Yeah, that is true. They do eat humans.
Yeah, and the only reason they stopped because Luke made C-3PO float, and they thought C-3PO was their god.
God, I bet at the last meal they got plenty of Imperials to eat then.
Cool, you think about it. They're going to num. But I mean, we think they look cute, but they actually quite vicious.
They're vicious. All right, I'll give you vicious teddy bear.
But they did feel like a marketing opportunity. I felt they could have done something more with the indigenous people.
Well, you know, I mean, they try and blow up the shield generator and then they get caught, don't they? Yeah. And then the Ewoks help them out.
Oh, well, right? that great space chase on the jet bikes.
Oh,
through the forest.
How many kids reenacted that with their own toys?
Oh,
I did.
And there's also a computer game where you could do it as well.
I have a mint in box speed bike. I love them. But once they get caught, right, and they do get caught trying to blow up because they go through the back door, don't they? And then Paplu, I think Paplu is...
Yeah, who saves the day when R2D C3 goes, I'm afraid our little friend has done something rather stupid.
Yeah, Paplu. This is the name of the Ewok, I believe.
Gets on that bike.
Gone.
Jung, jung, jung. Boom.
That was great.
And he can't even get his legs on the seat.
I quite like that bit.
But what I like next, and this is where I think Jedi comes into itself. You've got three things going on. You've got the battle in space.
Yes.
Right. You've got the battle for Endor, and you've got the battle for Luke's soul.
Battle for Luke's soul.
Which it was. That was a battle for Luke's soul.
Yeah, you're right. All right, we'll give you that.
And it gets quite deep in that thing. It gets quite dark.
It does.
And this is why I still consider Luke Skywalker to be one of the most powerful Jedis, is because he had it in him to be like Darth Vader. We've seen that in Empire when the helmet broke open. We saw his face. That was a warning that you can go down this road, right?
Yeah.
He's passionate. Darth Vader mocks him. And then he goes, if you will not turn to the dark side, maybe your sister.
Well, that gets him grumpy.
And Luke goes.
And it gives him power.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
I mean, he won.
The first time we've ever seen Darth Vader lose.
Well, clearly
And
Luke did know the power of the dark side on
Yeah.
that time, right?
Takes him down, chops his right hand off, looks down at his own right hand. Darth Vader's now breathing like
Which is weird, because he's not been hurt particularly. He's just tired.
We've never seen him defeated.
No, that's true.
You know?
No.
This is when the moment I think Luke becomes powerful, because with the most powerful empire, the Emperor, really powerful, Darth Vader really powerful, and he throws his lightsaber aside and says, I will never turn to the dark side. And that, in my mind, makes it, he's probably the only Jedi that's ever come that close and pulled back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying that bit, but I am enjoying the slaughter of the Ewoks just that little bit more.
Yeah, because then we go down, we go down to the planet, and we've got the Ewoks, and they're losing.
They are, because they're firing catapults, everything's getting blasted.
Part of this scene.
Is it the one where one of them gets shot and the other one goes, like that, and then he eats it?
No, he doesn't eat it. He doesn't eat it, just to be clarified there. No, Mark's seen I think he's seen another version. But the problem I've got is when Chewie swings across to the and he does a Tarzan sound.
It does.
How the hell did I know about Tarzan in another universe?
Well, it's just a natural swinging noise.
No, that's not right.
Anyway, they are losing, and then they take over one of the ATSTs,
and they turn the tide.
Oh, it's great. It's really good.
One of my favourite scenes, and what those little chicken things, I keep calling them the chicken things.
ATSTs. All-terrain armoured scout walker.
I like the one that's coming along, and the Ewoks cut a lump of a tree trunk from this side, it comes in and just flattens the head. And I think that's brilliant.
So, when did they settle? I mean, they've had 5 minutes to prepare, right? Because they were like,
right, so I've got to say this now.
They prepped them all before?
I've got to say this now. When it comes to realism, that's the least of the problems. Okay, fine. When it comes to that's the least of the problems.
Or did like 100 Ewoks roll up those logs and they're like, quick, it's coming. It's going. And they're like, it went the other way.
I don't care. Because at that point, none of it's believable.
Okay, fine.
Okay, I mean...
the space battle, though, is believable.
The space battle is amazing.
It's incredible.
At that point, that was the most spaceships on the screen at any one time ever.
When the fighters come in. When the fighters come in.
When all the fighters come in, that broke records.
Oh, there's another bit in it as well. I don't know if you'd ever get the cut, but the Millennium Falcon is following 3 TIE fighters who are trying to take one of them out, and it blasts all 3 of them going around the medical frigate. So anyway, the Death Star turns out to be operational.
Yeah, which I told it wasn't.
Wah-ha!
Boom! One spaceship
Near Numb goes,
I'd like to point out with that Death Star, right, with the guys that fire the laser, they still didn't put barriers in.
Yeah, well, that's because it didn't have Mikey's health and safety request.
Yeah.
It was still in progress. It was burnt up on the last one.
They've got another chance of making this safe for the guys that operate the laser.
And it is so dangerous. Because they even go like that when it fires.
So close.
Yeah, I mean...
Could they put them in a room?
Well, it's radiation as well as an issue, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because laser is a stimulated radiation.
I can see the job description now. No discernible future.
Tell you what, no kids, that's for sure.
No kids, definitely not.
Irradiated downstairs.
Yeah, nothing's working. It glows in the dark.
Yeah, but now Lando has a great idea. He says engage the Star Destroyers at point blank range so the Death Star can't shoot at them.
When he says we won't last long against them Star Destroyers, and he says we'll last longer against them, we will against that Death Star.
And one of my favourite parts of the battle, there's a TIE fighter on fire. They're blowing it's just incredible. Yeah. Absolutely incredible.
It's a great scene, great battle scene. They finally get the force field down, and in they swoop. At the same time...
Swoop is not the word, cutting through.
So at the same time, we've got Luke being executed to death by the Emperor.
Yes.
And Vader, and again, this is where Luke is so powerful because he must have known this would happen. Vader turns to the light side, picks up the Emperor, throws him down.
Gets electrocuted.
I have got a problem with this scene.
Why?
In the new version, they make him say no twice.
Oh, yeah.
No.
No,
No! Like that. And I thought, no, he never did that.
Yeah.
He just picked him up and threw him. That
but the Emperor doesn't die, does he?
Well, we did.
We thought he did, but he didn't. No, he actually survived.
We had to wait nearly 40 years to find that out.
Vader, full of electronics, gets electrocuted. He's a goner.
Now he's really weak.
No, he's in trouble.
So Luke takes him to his starship. Says, I'm going to save. He goes, no, son, take my helmet. He goes, if you do that, I'll die. He goes, nothing can stop that now. And he says, I think one of the most poignant lines in the thing, let me see you, Lord, let me look upon you with my own eyes.
Nice.
So he takes off the helmet and he looks and goes, now go, my son. And he's got this, where does that come from? Suddenly, he's talking very clearly.
It's a great voice modulator. Clearly a great... Takes off. Boom! Right, they blow up the main reactor and the regulator.
Yeah.
Wedge gets out, and one of my favourite bits is Millennium Falcon exiting, and Nien Nunb goes, "Yay!" Yeah. He goes, "Yeah!"
Brilliant.
I like that. It's so good, so good, and they win the day. Hundreds of thousands of people get burnt alive. Wonderful.
Wonderful. And then they go back to Endor, they party, and then the camera bounces
Nub time.
The camera bounces round to all the different planets.
They have a big party everywhere, right? Yeah. And I have to say, information sharing is very, very quick. Everybody knows about it pretty damn quick. And that's wonderful. And then you've got the three ghosts at the end, which is pretty harmonious. Great film. Dude Stars, I am going to give it a 9-star myself.
I think Dude Star, I agree. Dude Star, I'm going to give that a 9 stars. So comment below, what would your Dude Star be rating for this film?
So my joke is another quickie.
Okay.
I know you like them. What is floppy and goes round and round at 60 miles an hour?
I don't know. What is floppy and goes round and round at 60 miles an hour?
A Gungan in a food blender.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this one. We really enjoyed it.
I loved it.
Please like this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment if you haven't. Give us some comments. Give us some Dude Stars. We want to make this a thing, this Dude Star thing. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want us to talk about in the future.
And thank you so much for watching. We love you
all. All your comments. We appreciate your likes,
do.
and we enjoy doing this.
You make our decade. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. So I am Boba Dave.
I am Obi Mark.
We are Dudes of the Galaxy, and so until next time, we'll see you again in the galaxy near you real soon. Take care.
See you soon.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.